while you're all settling down, let me just introduce myself. I'm Harriet Tregoning. I'm the Director of Planning here in the District of Columbia, and let me just speak on behalf of the folks in our region that we've been so thrilled to have all of you here. During Railvolution. I think it's one of the most successful Railvolutions that we've ever had. Filled sessions, great attendance, fun events, dynamic speakers, I think you name it. I'd like to really thank and acknowledge our local host committee. Could they stand if they're in any of the host committee members in the room? I mean, they have worked their tails off for more than a year to bring you the program that you've seen over the last several days. How about volunteers? We've had some great volunteers, haven't we? Can the volunteers stand if they're in the room? And I could thank lots and lots of people by name, but I'm actually just going to single out one person. Is Marty Renfield in the room? Marty. Where's Marty? Marty has just been fabulous. I mean, there's always that one person that really, kind of kicks the butt of everyone else and gets us to do the things we need to do, and she has been just outstanding. I think she got this assignment to work on this maybe like 3 days after she started, with DDOT, and she's just been phenomenal. So a big thank you to Marty. So I've got a couple of little housekeeping matters that I need to talk about. Following this session, this is the closing plenary for Railvolution, but we have 3 dynamic discussions that our local host committee, that great host committee I just told you about, have put together around how do we take all this great information and all these great speakers and all this wonderful exchange that we've had and put it to work here in the D.C. region. So we have a forum planned with recipients of FTA's Tiger Grants, HUD's Challenge and Sustainable Community Grants, and finally we also have a discussion with Railvolution's new Executive Director, Dan Bartholomew, if Dan could stand. He's going to host a session where you can give him face-to-face feedback about what you love and what you may not like so much about Railvolution, so he can make it better and better. You hear this in after every session you've been in, but this is for the entire conference. In your packet, there's a green sheet. That's a conference evaluation form, and let me tell you, the Railvolution organization takes this evaluation extremely seriously and really, really wants your feedback to make this conference better and better. This year, you can also go straight to the Railvolution website and fill out the survey electronically if you are just over paper. So that's great too, but your feedback is really critical. I don't know how many of you have been able to get to other sessions, but if you're on Twitter, if you've been tweeting at all, it's been really great to hear little tidbits coming out of a lot of different sessions. So the hashtag has been RV11, and it's not too late to share your thoughts on the conference. So do that if you get a chance. That would be fantastic. I wish we could host Railvolution every year, and I know Marty would be really thrilled if that was the case. But in fact, we have a very exciting Railvolution in 2012 in Los Angeles. And some amazing things are happening in California, in Los Angeles in particular. I'd like to welcome to the stage Diego Cardosa, who's the Executive Officer for Transportation, Development, and Implementation at the LA County Metropolitan Transportation Authority in Los Angeles. And he's gonna do his best to entice all of you and all your friends to come out to LA next year.
Okay, good morning. I'm going to take you on a tour on magical realism and take you back to the future of Los Angeles. So give your brain a break and turn on your imagination. I'm just going to speak here. In 1876, Southern Pacific connects LA to the National Rail Network. 10,000 people live in what is now known Los Angeles. In 1920, 500,000 people are living in LA County and the city of Los Angeles. And 1,000 miles of an electric trolley system is crisscrossing the county. And I think this story occurred in many cities in the United States. In the 1940s, the SIG alert was invented in LA. What is the SIG alert? Lloyd Sigmund was a reporter, and LAPD will contact Lloyd every now and then and report on the auto accidents in the city or congestion. So that's the SIG alert that was being used, and I think it's still being used in Southern California. At the same time, in the 40s, the planning of the freeways were pretty much going on now. In the 1960s, the freeway system that we know now in Southern California and Los Angeles is practically completed. I remember the day that I arrived in Los Angeles, 1969. I was 17 years old. I remember the airplane was coming from South America, and as you approach LAX, the flight path goes over the 10th freeway. In Los Angeles, it's known as the Santa Monica Freeway, and I think that I saw a sign at if you go to Santa Monica and you take the freeway, you are coming back into the city of LA, you will see a sign that says this is the Columbus Intercontinental Highway. As the airplane was coming down, the clouds opened. And then I looked down, and then I saw this huge, huge freeway with cars all over there. 1969. That was my experience of coming to Los Angeles. In the 1970s, the smoke alerts were created. And then that was something so interesting when I was then in high school in LA, for me to observe the horizon and see this brownish sort of area there. And that was really interesting. And then that tells you the power of people in terms of affecting the environment, affecting nature. At that time, in the 1970s, the planning for a mass rapid transit was initiated in LA County. In the 1980s, the Blue Line opens for service, 20 miles of rail, basically. And then that was going over some of the tracks and the right-of-way of the Pacific Electric system. So we are going back into the future. In 1993, when I was employed by the LA EMCEE, the red line, the first segment of the subway, the red line opened for service. 3 miles between Union Station and MacArthur Park. By 2003, we had 70+ miles of urban rail. Subway, the light rail system, 500 miles of suburban commuter rail, Metrolink, 2,000+ CNG buses, bicycle networks, and in 19,000, and around that time, I led the effort of LA County to create an element of pedestrian projects. I said, walking is transportation. We need to create that. In 2008, LA County voters approved Measure R. And they approved at a time when the economy was basically already suffering. Nobody expected that voters will approve to tax themselves a half a cent in order to invest in mobility. And then the requirements for passing a tax increase basically in Southern California are pretty, it's almost impossible. You need 2/3 of the votes to do it. And it happened. So all of a sudden, LA County had a sort of a credit card of $40 billion between now and 2030 to be able to apply to transit development and other improvements in mobility, including highways. So all of this is happening at a time when also LA was no longer the LA of the 1910s and 20s. It was not necessarily just a city of Southern California. It was a city that was not necessarily competing with San Diego or San Francisco, etc. It was a global city. So I'm going to close. I saw the card, and then we are going back to the future. We are going back to the future. Please come to Los Angeles. You will be surprised to rediscover the city and the cities that are known as LA County or LA City. There is a lot of infill development. I have been a member of the LA City Planning Commission now for 7 years, and most of the approvals that we go through are infill development, the readaptation of the city. Urban livability is economic development. It's an economic frontier. And then I'm going to show now a short video so that you have an understanding of what we do in LA County in terms of transportation. Thank you.
It's all about movement of people from home to work, of goods from port to market, of ideas from concept to reality. We're Metro, the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority, and our task is daunting: to continuously improve Southern California's transportation system, making it as safe, efficient, and effective as possible. But what's the best way to get around Southern California? There's no single answer. For some, it's on Metro Rail, with subways traveling as much as 900 feet underneath the ground, or trains gliding down surface streets, or even in the middle of freeways. Some are best served by innovative services like the Metro Orange Line, the bus that runs like a train, or by Metro Rapid Lines that get priority at traffic signals to make bus trips up to 25% faster. But for Metro, it doesn't stop at public transportation. We work to help drivers too. One way is through carpool lanes. Metro has spearheaded one of the largest networks of carpool lanes in the nation and keeps working to expand it. Then there's the Freeway Service Patrol, working to keep freeways moving by helping disabled vehicles at no charge. And to further ease commuting, Metro offers van pool programs and rideshare matching, giving people more alternatives to driving alone. Don't forget bicycles. Metro provides maps of bike paths and bike safety education, as well as bicycle parking and bike racks on buses. Metro serves the disabled community too, with buses and trains that assist those with hearing, mobility, and visual impairments. Metro also provides special services for individuals whose disabilities prevent them from using regular bus and rail service. Goods movement is in Metro's purview as well, with projects that speed the flow of freight through the region. And in some of its most forward-thinking projects, Metro is working with developers to create environments that mix homes, businesses, shopping, and transit stations all together at the same place. So for Metro, it's all about movement. And it's about people. The people we carry. The people of the communities we serve. And the people who make Metro work. The bus operators and mechanics, customer service reps and farebox technicians, schedulers and planners, engineers and administrators. It's about people. It's about movement. It's about improving Southern California today and making it even better tomorrow. We're Metro.